Benjamin Franklin signed the Declaration of Independence a quarter mile away. And I shouldn't say that because you're not great with fractions. But he did that so that 250 years later, you could podcast next to that building with no idea what he did. And that's Philadelphia.
Thanks, Ben Frank. Appreciate you, baby.
You're like the bridge guy?
Welcome back to the Bhavcast. Today I got Portland comedian Brent Lowry.
What's up?
Woo!
Yeah.
You made it all the way to Philly, bro.
Yeah, and you're wearing your new pants.
My new pants. Thank you, Dad. Big Vish, thank you.
Oh, you didn't even... Your dad bought them for you on Black Friday?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Sorry, I gotta take off my socks for some of my fucking followers.
How often does your dad buy you clothes?
Not really often.
My dad gives like a jacket every winter ever since I moved to Portland. That's like it. Every Christmas I get like a thick jacket. I'm like, Dad, I have 6 of these. You give me one every year.
Yeah, but see, things I don't really buy clothes too often. So like we were just like roaming through the mall, and I was like, oh, look at these Levi pants, and then like I was like, oh, I forgot my wallet. My mom forgot her Macy's card. And he was like, all right, I have the cash. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
sometimes I'll wear my shittiest clothes when I go visit my parents, so they're like, we gotta get you some new clothes. You're like, and then you wink at the camera, like, they bought it.
Yeah. No, facts. Like I have the pants I was wearing tonight, they're like my work pants. Like my work gives them free. Every year you get 2. And my mom hates when I wear them at home. She's like, you're always wearing your free work pants.
You're like, Mom, I'm professional.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I'm coming home to work.
No.
Family
but
time.
You're not gonna wear sweatpants home because then she's gonna say something too.
Yeah. I really don't wear sweatpants.
Your
too
work
often.
gives you 2 pairs of pants every year.
Yeah, like fire retardant pants for like, because I build ships and shit.
Right.
Yeah.
So how many pairs have you accumulated?
4.
2 years.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like
So there's guys that have worked there for 20 years that have like 40 pairs of these?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah,
wow.
dude.
Yeah.
And I'm like on my 3rd year actually, so in January I'm going to order another 2.
Damn.
And I love them, dude. I love these pants so much, so it's like...
That's cool.
Yeah, it's the best. How was your Thanksgiving, bro?
We're not allowed to say fire retardant in Portland. So
Yeah, I always feel a little sketchy saying it, but then I'm like, you know what? That's what they are. You know, like...
It was so funny to... Well, no, we're not going to talk about specific people over here. Something funny happened. There was somebody who said retarded at the last mic where I was like, oh, wow, even she says it.
Yeah. Honestly, if it's in... Okay, if you're a female minority, you can say it, and no one bats an eye.
If you're a white female, you can't say it?
No, she was gay. So
right.
She's also a minority.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah. And we do the same thing where you're like, you have to do like a little algebra on who can say what.
Yeah.
But it's a lot.
But if I say it, then they're like, oh, you're just being a douchebag.
But you're a minority.
Nah,
You have to be like a minority.
Yeah. I'm still a straight male. So that trumps everything.
You need 2 cards.
Yeah.
If you were a gay male, you could say retarded.
I could say whatever I wanted to, Brent.
I definitely can't say it.
No, you can say it on here. You can say it on. Only my mom is going to hear it, and she's going to be like,
5 minutes into my first Philly podcast, I'm already getting kicked off my lease.
No, you're going to be fine. You can come live here. I got enough space for you.
You guys heard it here first.
The next time you do a comic swap.
That desk is big enough for 3 of us.
Yeah, we can get a lot of work done there.
Damn, and that chair I just noticed is a chair. And not, that thing is huge.
Yeah.
You can't see it, but it's a huge
right
chair.
Here. Yeah. Guess how old that is?
7 years.
No, it's like 25. It came with this set right here.
These are 25-year-old couches?
Maybe even 30. Like my dad got them like a long time ago.
Damn, they're pristine.
Yeah. But my one buddy,
you better keep those pants clean if he expects this type of life.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they're
30 years old?
Yeah, like they're made for small Asian people.
Oh.
You know?
Everything made for small Asians last longer than most people.
Yeah.
My grandma's a small Asian. She is 101.
Yeah, you said that. Like, what is your background?
So I'm a quarter Chinese, but I'm white.
Yeah, okay.
My dad's half Chinese. My grandma's full. But I think once you get down to the 25%, you can't be like, as a Chinese guy, I feel that I can say this word. No.
No, I know what word you're talking about.
You could think of a lot.
Yeah.
Asian Chinese guys can say them all, but I'm not enough.
No, and what is the other half of you?
That's not how that would add up. That's scary that you're an engineer because that was only a quarter. So you asked for the other half. There's 3 quarters there, so.
No, I know. I'm in my off hours, bro.
Right.
I mean, you heard the bit tonight. I'm a bad engineer for an Indian guy.
Yeah.
Good for a white guy.
I figured you would know
Fractions.
the basic fractions, but I'm not here to insult anybody in their own room.
All right,
I'm
3/4.
mostly mixed European after that, so it's like the guy who married my grandma, my grandpa, but I never met him. He died in 1972.
Okay.
He was born in 1902.
Wow.
So my grandpa was 88 years older than me, and I never met him.
Okay.
He died when my dad was 17, but he was a white dude from Oklahoma. And then my grandparents on my mom's side are white people from St. Louis, so it's just like a lot of mixed European after that.
Yeah.
I've never done the 23andMe. I have an uncle who was a serial killer, and he's asked us not to get our DNA tested because he's been getting away with it for a long time.
Oh wow,
So,
is that facts? Serial killer?
yeah, this isn't going to be published, right?
No, it is, but like, no, I don't got many
I
subscribers.
won't say what region he was the serial killer in, so you'll have to find it out.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
he's asked us all to not get DNA samples because that'll make him guilty. What's the word there? It will incriminate him.
Yes. No, we don't want to do that here on the Bobcast because, I am also a child of crime. I've gotten in a few troubles in my youth, and I understand the criminal mind. You know what I mean?
In your youth,
Yeah.
that you can't talk about now?
No, I can't. I've got like a disorderly conduct, a public drunkenness, some public urinations here and there, some weed charges.
All drunken party related.
Yeah. I'm like
feel
a bad timing guy.
Yeah. It would be crazy if you had an ancestor or a relative get a DNA sample and then they were like, this was the guy that peed on the frat house. We finally got his DNA.
You just have to go to the frat house. It's still there.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Their couches don't look anything like this, and they are not 30 years old.
No. Facts.
Yeah.
We got I was in a frat, low key, and we got new couches.
Is anyone in a frat low key?
No.
You're either in a frat or you're not in a frat.
Facts. And we got brand new couches, and they were fucking ruined in one semester.
Oh, tragic. You guys, your fees, your dues went to that. What was the, like, you know how there's the blank frat? What were you guys?
Like we were AXP or?
No, I mean, like, how did other people describe you?
Oh, we were like a mid-tier frat. We were kind of like losers, like misfits.
Were y'all the engineering frat?
Oh no, we were just like, I was just in a social frat, just like a party frat. But luckily the frat across the street, Beta Sig, they were like the best frat off because they were Jewish and
That's
had money.
a hilarious name for a fraternity. You're like, can I bait a cig from you? Like, you're like, when they're all fucked up, they're like, yo, can I bait a cig, bro?
please, bro.
I'm just trying to bait a cig.
But they had a lot of money, so every time their parties would get shut down, like it would be like Trickle-down, pussynomics, like all their girls would come over.
Did you get their old couches too?
No,
that's crazy. Trickle-down pussynomics doesn't need to be explained, and if hold on, let me break this down.
Yeah.
So when the cool guys who got a lot of pussy had too much pussy and their parties got raided and they had to get suspended, those girls would have to come to your parties. Did these guys just disappear?
No, like
They didn't have their house anymore.
no, like I mean, just like that for that night. Like it got shut down for that night.
Literally, the ones.
Like it would get shut down, and then everyone had to leave, and then the chicks would be like, "Where should we go party now? Well, let's go across the street."
It's weird that the guys who had to like kick everybody out of their house also stayed in their house and were like why couldn't they go with the girls?
Yeah, because like in frat culture, like you're not accepting all the bros. We're like, no. Like we beefed a little bit. You know what I mean?
Right. So then all of a sudden, when the girls went to your party because they just cared about who had alcohol, they were like, we can't even try to get into that house because we didn't let them in our party.
No,
so.
they were basically like, no. We'll wait until like the after party, like 2 a.m. after. Like they'll come back.
Oh. Damn, y'all were just sitting there watching girls go back and forth like hot potato.
Yeah, basically.
Trickle-down pussynomics. Clip it.
I grew up really sheltered, so like seeing all this and like like my parents came from India and like like they don't party much. So like when I would see this happening in real life for the first time, and I'll be like, "Whoa, this is amazing!" I was just happy to be there.
I think that's the vibe of most college kids, and even in the ones who like their parents did party, they're the ones like organizing it all.
Yeah,
Like, but there's no one there who's like, hey guys, let's be responsible.
Yeah.
It's like everybody's figuring out their limits by exceeding them.
Yeah.
No one's 21 being like, you know what, last week it didn't go so well. I'm just doing 2 beers tonight. No one does that.
No.
They're either like, I don't drink, or they're passed out.
Or I'm blacking out every night, getting blacked.
College is so stupid. It's like, I get why. Well, I don't even understand it really, because like we should just force 18-year-olds to go out into the real world and figure it out. But we give these people with enough money 4 extra years to be like, I don't know, party a little and go fuck around. And then the amount of people who actually like go off on their own path that they could chart back to college, sending them in a bad direction. It's like, maybe I should have just gone to work after.
Yeah.
But I don't know. My parents once, when I was like a freshman in high school, we went to a restaurant, and they both, I remember they were like, they both didn't go to real 4-year school. They went to either a trade school or community college, or my dad went to a school for 1 year to play basketball, and then he dropped out. But they were both like, Brent, if we could do one thing differently, we would have loved to go to a 4-year school. And it like they were like very much telling me like, dude, you gotta go.
Yeah.
But it wasn't even because they were like, this would be a great way to round out your education and prepare you for the real world. It was like they both felt like they didn't get that period of their life to be like, and I think that they regretted it. And at like 14 or 15, I was like, okay, so I feel like you guys are telling me to go party or be, free. So that's mostly what I did. But I wasn't a huge drinker. I was always, because of the Asian, you know how some Asians turn red when they drink?
They get the Asian glow.
Yeah, I somehow inherited that piece of Asian. So from the beginning, when I think the first time, like a junior in high school, I went to homecoming, drank, came back, and my dad has this too, but I came back and my mom was like, why are you red? And I was like, I'm sunburned. And then she's like, I saw you at like 4 hours ago. And it's night,
Yeah, the sun has been down.
It was so hard to hide that I drank. Even at 2 beers, I would be like, because I just lack the enzyme that breaks down alcohol. So it was never even that fun. I'd have like, anytime in college that I did try to drink like the people around me, I would still be only having like probably like 5-6 drinks, maybe some shots.
Yeah.
And it would wreck me because I just my body doesn't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
So I always deferred to marijuana. And even in college, that was like the go-to. There was a few nights, this is funny too, actually. 21st birthdays in a college town are always like these rites of passage. There's all the bars in one area that have like a special drink to give the 21-year-olds because they're trying to like get you to come be a regular at their place.
Right,
so they all have a special thing. And the routine was you go do all these special drinks with your friends. And what happened, my dad was he and his brother were training. They did a 100-mile bike race in this like in the area where I went to school, and it happened to be around my 21st birthday. So they brought my grandma, who was 89 at the time, because her birthday is 5 days after mine. So she came out with me and all my friends. And in a college town, you don't even see people who are like in their 40s a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So we were going down the streets of like all these drunken 21-year-olds and they're all doing double takes because there's this tiny Chinese woman holding hands with this fucked up like white dude.
Yeah.
But everybody looks happy, so they're like, "Oh, that's so cute," you know. And that was her. She was there, sort of. I mean, obviously, because she's awesome, and that was like a cool occasion. But also to prevent me from getting too fucked up, because like no one's gonna be like, "Keep going" when your grandma's there. Like they'll be. But yeah, that was like that was so long ago. It's crazy that. If somebody told me then, they're like, when you're 35, you and your grandma will be celebrating 102 and 35 together. I'm like, what the fuck? Or she's 101. So 101 and 35.
She made it to triple digits.
She made it to triple digits. And then last Christmas, I remember calling her on the phone, and she sounded like very weak and out of it. And I remember crying on the phone because she's one of the closest people to me. And I remember hanging up, and I was with my girlfriend, and I remember crying because I was like, this is definitely her last Christmas. I can like feel it.
Yeah.
I can feel her kind of giving up. And that was December. January 7th, we went out there, my girlfriend and I, because my girlfriend was auditioning for the Netflix is a Joke thing, and it was at the Ice House on a Wednesday.
Okay.
We went down there on a Monday. Tuesday night, the wildfires that like wrecked LA happened. And my uncle, he lived in a city called Altadena, and that city got torched. And at 3 a.m. on the Wednesday morning, Tuesday into Wednesday, he and his dog and his girlfriend had to evacuate to my grandma's house. And so the next day, my girlfriend's audition got canceled because it was in Pasadena. But we couldn't really like complain about it or be sad because my uncle had just lost like everything. They had like one box. That's all they took.
Yeah.
And so his house burned down. And then the silver lining of it all is that he, his girlfriend, and his dog had to move into my grandma's house. So all of a sudden she went from just being like lonely and fading and having like a caretaker around to having like family, a dog, and like a bunch of people. She had like purpose again.
Yeah.
And they were making her food. And so she fucking, she was like back and she had energy. And even recently, like my dad called me, and sometimes I'll answer it even if it's not that convenient because I'm like, Graham probably died.
Yeah.
And last time I answered it, he was like, I just visited Graham and I wanted to call you because she's doing a lot better than the last time you saw her. Like, she kept asking about when food was coming, and she ate all her meal. And then when we were watching TV, she was like standing up doing exercises. You're like, what the fuck, dude? Who's 101 years old and like, man, I should really get this shit together. Like, I gotta get back in shape. Like, that's crazy. But
well, sometimes that's what it is. You know what I mean? You get like to the end of your life, everyone has moved on, and you're just kind of like rotting away. And when that energy comes back, it's like, you know, like this is what they kind of teach you in like Hinduism and Buddhism is like life is a revolving door of energy. And once all your people go, it's like, what's your purpose? You know? And it's like, if you made it to 100, your purpose is kind of now to go.
For sure, especially as you're watching the world be fucked. And you're like, dude, please take me out. I don't even want to process what the hell's happening.
Exactly.
Like, I made it through all the part I needed to. I don't need
a whole century she made it.
Yeah, dude.
You know what I mean? So, dude, that's wild. Well, is she still alive?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
I mean, we should call her, but you can't say yes to a 101-year-old if you haven't talked to her in the last like couple hours.
Yeah,
You're like, I don't know. She was alive yet. She was alive 2 days ago. Someone would have called me.
No, that's amazing. My grandma still does like exercises too. It's like, it's like part of like, I don't know what it's like in Portland, but like when I used to live in like deep center city, like 15th and Locust, sometimes I'd walk through Rittenhouse like early in the morning. If I was like hungover, I was like, oh, I need to fucking live life, breathe fresh air. And there's a whole group of like Asians just doing the Tibetan 12. You know what I mean? Like fucking just they're doing some feng shui. It's like
it's the Tibetan 112 because that's what age they're all trying to get to.
Yeah. So no, that's really exciting. Like I love that.
It is exciting. I swear, every time I've left seeing her for the last like 5 or 6 years, I'm like, oh, this is it. It's like, I don't know. I think now I'm just doing that to be like, so that to like challenge God. You're like, well, I guess there's no way she could still live. And then he's like, what'd you say? Bam.
She's going to live to like 112.
She's got her knees back.
Yeah.
She said something crazy earlier this year. She said, my heart doctor told me that if I die, which is a crazy thing. You're like, whoa, you're going to die. My heart doctor said, if I die, it won't be my heart. You're like, what? Who looks at a 101-year-old heart and is like, nah, this thing's good for another 100,000 miles, you know?
She got a Honda Civic in her, bro.
Something. Yeah, she's got something.
No, that's really cool because, like,
Honda Civic's a Japanese car, so that's very offensive.
Fuck.
But I don't know Chinese cars.
Yeah, do the Chinese even have cars, or are they just buying up all the other cars?
I think they make the microchips that go in the smart cars.
Yeah.
So they're like a part of it.
Yeah, they're part of the whole fucking system. Honestly, low key, when the whole Chinese tariffs happened, China. Okay, so our shipyard is like. Trump really believes in the shipyard because he wants to bring back American manufacturing. And then,
well, if he believes it, so do I.
Yeah, like, no, I mean, it still gives me a job, so you got to believe it, while we're sitting on this couch.
Sure, right? He's paying for these pillows, then fine.
And, yeah, they got, so, like, some top-tier executives sent, like, some spies to spy on, like, Chinese manufacturing. And they put some big tariffs on us, and then they had to go work it out because, like, at the end of the day, the Chinese make everything real, like the hardest shit to make in the world. Like, we have these tanks that go into these LNG ships, like liquid natural gas tanks. And when I tell you, like we're on the 7th floor right now, and the tanks, like when they're sitting on the road, like you could probably see the top of them at this window. Like, they're fucking huge. They're like the size of a rich person's house.
And China's behind this?
Yeah, and they're like, if you don't fucking make amends with us, we're going to charge you like 5 times for these tanks. You know what I mean? So then we bent the knee to China.
Yeah. I mean, you have to. They've been around. They're so much better at existing as a country.
Yeah.
They got the track record. They've been like 3,000 years as like China.
Yeah.
Who else has that?
No, I mean, India has it, but we're like so like peaceful. You know what I mean? Like, we're not.
Oh, you guys are low key about it.
Yeah. Well, like, I mean, we're not like making a lot of shit either. Like, we might be. We're not, but we're not making like big industrial things. And we're not like think about this. When the British came and tried to take over fucking India, Gandhi was like, I'm gonna starve myself, and we're like, what? Hunger strike? Come on, brother.
I thought that they loved it. What?
No, I know, but like,
We're like Indians, like, what a pussy.
Yeah, some.
So that's only like American heroism?
Yeah, like some Indians like really hate Gandhi because he was like, fuck, like you. I mean, I had this guy Vishnu Vaka on my podcast who's like, he's done like he opens
that's
up.
That's an Indian name?
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Big Vish, but he opens up for like Russell Peters and shit, and he's like, when we talked about Gandhi, he was like, yeah, like fuck that guy. Why was he like such like basically a pussy? And I was like, bro, well, our whole culture is nonviolent. You know what I mean? This is the only way he could fight it. If you have a whole population of people that starve themselves, what are you going to take over? You know what I mean? You just got nobody.
It was a great chess move.
And it's like we don't really believe in violence like that. So it's like, why don't you, if we all just don't eat?
And you've seen pictures of Gandhi.
Yeah, yeah.
Who was he gonna fight?
Yeah, nobody. He's getting knocked out by a 12-year-old girl.
I didn't say that on this podcast, but I know some 12-year-old girls who
Yeah.
could take
All
him.
I'm saying is Greta Thunberg could take on Gandhi.
Those seem like two that wouldn't want to be in the ring with each other, but
But you would pay to watch it.
one's British and one's Indian, so there's some beef, right?
Yeah, exactly.
She's not British. She's like Scandinavian.
Some type of. Is that still in Europe? My geography is so
Yeah, but
bad.
yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Either way, to your point, India does stay out of most beef, so it's like, well, sorry, I didn't mean that.
No,
Like
no, no. Okay. Oh, I love that you
wasn't
actually
like
know that. I
wasn't
love
like
that.
a beef joke.
Wow.
It wasn't supposed to be that.
No,
They
that's
stay out of
great.
conflict.
Yeah.
Maybe that's how they kind of like sustain by like kind of staying.
Yeah.
We're not too big. Obviously, we're not too small.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
There's no point because like I don't know, like have you ever been in like street fights and shit in your youth?
I lived on the cul-de-sac where we would wrestle and like hit each other every once in a while, and then adult life I've only been in one fight, but I
Yeah.
was more like I was assaulted.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's
by
like
a woman.
oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to laugh at that.
Yeah, it's funny how I have all these stories and I'm like, that's one I'm not gonna tell. Let's do more Graham stuff. Then the one time I called a roommate a Buffalo Betty and she jumped on top of me and she fractured my nose.
Oh my god.
I got like a black eye.
She must have been a buffalo though.
It was like I summoned her by her wrestling name. It was like all of a sudden she was like, "What did you say?" And then she transformed and like had all these special attacks.
She's pressing like X.
Dude, I didn't even know we were playing.
Yeah.
It was too late.
But that's what it's all about basically. It's like violence has a zero-sum game, really. So it's like
She lost the master bedroom. I got the master
Oh,
bedroom.
yeah.
She had to move out.
good.
So Gandhi would have been proud.
Send that buffalo back to the farm, baby.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're watching this, that'd be crazy. It was a long time ago. I hope that you're not. I hope I'm not on her mind at all.
Nah, she's thinking about that white boy she beat up.
I mean, how would she? Because she won. So there's no part of her that's like, God, if I could break if I could give him another black eye. Like, I don't. You won.
But imagine if you were the only dub on her fighting career. You know what I mean?
She won. A crazy story.
Yeah.
So when I lived on the cul-de-sac, this was like up until like 13, maybe like 7 to 13.
Mm-hmm.
One of the kids, he was a little older than me, but I was kind of a bully, at least to the kids that were in my neighborhood,
Mm-hmm.
because like we all went to the same school.
Sure.
And at school, I had more friends, and so I'd come back, and they were like, it was a self-confidence thing. I would
Yeah.
like push them down to feel better about
Right.
myself, because I probably felt like a loser, and I was like, but they're losers, so
Mhm.
I'd be mean, and they would be mean back sometimes, but I think I was probably the aggressor. And right after, this is 10 to 12 years after I lived on that cul-de-sac. I'm 25, get beat up by this girl. Like a week later, I get a message. It's this really long message from the guy who I haven't talked to in a decade plus. And he's like explaining why my bullying impacted him as an adult, and now he can't go to parties without being anxious, and like some of it I felt like he was probably putting a little too much on me.
Right.
But I read the whole thing and I was like, damn, and he said in one part like, I wanted to kick your ass so bad back then, but my parents said that if I did, your parents would have sued me, some stuff like that, because they were like British, and I don't know, that was what they told him. And so I told him in the message, I was like, I'm really sorry that, I remember being an asshole. If it helps, I recently had my ass kicked, and here is a picture. So someone did the job. Just so you know, maybe you have peace of mind. I did eventually get my ass kicked. And I sent him the whole picture. And then I remember his response was like, really like it went from being kind of like confrontational to being like, hey man, you know, I saw you're doing stand-up comedy. I saw one of these jokes. That's a good joke. Like he backed off because I was like, look, I did deserve to get my ass kicked, and it's fresh. It's still healing. So like his timing couldn't have been better. We didn't have any more like interactions, but that was like a funny. Yeah,
karma came for you.
Yeah. And it was nice to tell him that. So like he didn't put me on a list and then come get me again. Yeah. I was like, I've been got. You know, like,
first you get beat up by a woman and then you get shot by this guy.
Something.
Yeah, all in the same month. That's crazy.
Yeah.
No, I love that. I'm learning so much about you.
I don't like sharing like, I was this bully and I fucked kids up for. It's like, I think we all did stuff sometimes that we look back on and go, oh yeah, that would have had an impact on me. But I was 7 and I kind of must have done something that someone did to me and felt like, well, that's just how you treat people to be cool.
Yeah.
Like I remember when everyone was doing the suck it.
Yeah. DX.
We had somebody, this is back in the cul-de-sac days, so we're like 12. We invited a kid over, and then as he was coming, like he lived nearby, so as he walked up to the house, we all stood on the lawn above, and as he walked up, we all went, suck it. And we didn't even know what that meant.
Yeah.
We were like yelling to this kid to suck our dicks. Like, and I remember he like, and he just ran home. Like, and that's funny, but it's not that funny, I guess, to be 35 and being like, hey, we fucking got him, bro. It's kind of lame.
Nah, dude, that's like, you know, like, okay, look, you're 35, I'm 32, and in that time in our youth, there wasn't like cell phones or anything. So this is what we did. You know what I mean?
That's also true that there weren't people every single day getting backlash from the masses. Like, I see now why people are way more cautious about everything they do because they just saw someone do something similar and lose their job or so it might be a good thing that people are more aware of like the consequences of their actions. It is a good thing.
That's why I would never say the N-word on this podcast.
Why did you say on this podcast? Gotcha.
You got me.
Did you guys pick up on what I picked up on?
He's a smart guy. This guy's a smart guy.
Yeah. I would never say the N-word.
No. That's good because you live in Portland. But I live in Philly, so I don't know that. No, I'm just digging myself in a hole. Guys, I never say it. Never say it. So let me ask you something, Brent. Let me ask you something
now that we're on this. No. Yeah, let's switch it. Yeah. Go. What were you headed?
Yeah, I was heading like, how was your Thanksgiving, bro?
Wow, that's a hard shift. You mean my day of oppressed peoples?
Yeah. Let me ask.
What do they call the new? What do sometimes people call
Indigenous
Peoples Day?
Yeah.
Is that what do they call Christopher Columbus Day?
I think they call it Indigenous People Day now.
So what do they call Thanksgiving? Are you telling me they do both?
No, I think they just call it Thanksgiving. I've never heard a new name for Thanksgiving.
I read an article today that I had to Google if it was real, and I think it wasn't, but somebody said that the governor of Oregon, whose name is Tina Kotek, they said that she passed a order to, instead of calling it Christmas, calling it Day of Holiday Inclusion. And I kind of knew when I read that, I was like, that seems like satire.
Yeah.
But it was on a publication where I was like, I've read real articles on this. So then I had to double check it. I saw one article. I'm still convinced that's not really, because it's just like, that's what you would expect Portland to do.
Yeah.
But if she really did that, half of the state of Oregon would be coming for her head, because half of them are in Portland, but then the other half don't feel that way necessarily.
Right.
And they're all in the outskirts. So,
to be honest, as a brown guy,
oh yeah,
you know, you have Diwali around the same time as like Christmas and all that. You know, like you guys can have Christmas. It's okay. It's Christmas time.
Oh, we got it.
Yeah, like it's like you don't have to say like when the whole thing came out about like happy holidays and all that shit. It's like, no, dude, literally you have Santa Claus posted up everywhere. You know what I mean? Like it's okay that it's Christmas. No one is like really butthurt about it, and the people that are butthurt about it, they have nothing else to be butthurt about. You know, Like, it's okay. Like,
Thanks.
yeah, you have like Kwanzaa at the same time. You have a couple other holidays. It's like they can all get their own vibe, you know? But this is like, we're also living in America where like Christianity is like the biggest religion for this place. So it's like, you got like, let it be Christmas, you know? Santa Claus is chill.
It's better than Jesus.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's not my real feelings necessarily, but that's the alternative. If it wasn't Santa draped over everything, it would be Jesus, right?
Yeah, and I would prefer that fat, jolly guy, you know, and his like 12 reindeer that he has. I love Rudolph, you know what I mean? He needs to blow his nose, but whatever. But it's like, it doesn't upset us.
This part of me is like, what Rudolph do you know?
I know the one with the red nose, you know what I
Okay.
mean? So I assume he has a little cold all the time.
Oh,
I know.
right, from all the Kleenex commercials.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or cocaine that he does the night before to fucking stay up and crank that out.
You got to feel like the North Pole is heavily meth. Like meth is definitely a big part of how those elves can do that.
Right.
Logistically, they wouldn't be able to do that if there weren't like serious drugs.
As someone who has worked in manufacturing his whole life after college, you know what I mean? I've worked in different manufacturing plants. Yeah, I've never seen anyone work more efficient than elves. You know what I mean?
Do you have them at where you work?
No. That's why the ships don't get built on time.
Right. Yeah. Something funny. A couple months ago, there was this guy who was showing us pictures of him as a kid.
Oh, yeah?
And it was him with Santa Claus at the mall.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, when he showed us the picture, he was like, yeah, but it wasn't even the real Santa. And me and my girlfriend were like, what? There is no real Santa.
Yeah.
But we felt like we had to break the news to him.
How old was he?
28 or something like that. He just, when he said it, we clowned on him. He didn't mean it like that. He's like, but yeah, it was funny that he's like, it wasn't even the real Santa. We're like, there is no, what?
Did you really? There's a Santa in every mall in the whole United States, brother.
And none of them are real. Something similar happened on Thanksgiving. My brother-in-law, who lives in upstate New York, he's born on November 23rd. So his birthday was like the Sunday before Thanksgiving.
Mm-mm.
But sometimes it is Thanksgiving. And so I was with them on Thanksgiving, and his buddy called him. And he's like 30-something.
Mm-hmm.
And his buddy's like, happy birthday, man. And he's like, oh, thanks. My birthday was Sunday. And his friend was so confused. He goes, I thought your birthday was on Thanksgiving. It was just funny to hear that and be like, yeah, sometimes it is. But I could just imagine this guy being like, but I'm born on Halloween. And my birthday is always Halloween. It was just like, it was funny. Yeah. I'm sure it was an innocent mistake. And it's still sweet to call somebody on their birthday-ish.
Yeah, no, it's the intention that matters.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a kid in high school who once said, like, when's the 4th of July? And we never let that go. How was your Thanksgiving?
Oh, my. My Thanksgiving was good. I hung out with my family. We watched Stranger Things. And my dad turned 70.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I had got him candles, but I didn't know they were like those candles that like re-spark up. So we were like he started blowing them out and they would spark back up. You know what I mean?
Right. And at 70, he's like, how many? I only have a few more of these. How many more times are these going to go out?
Yeah, exactly.
We can't, if we did trick candles on Graham, that's it.
Yeah, that's what we were getting a little nervous of. And when they got to like half the candle, we were like, all right, this is enough.
It is very funny to bring trick candles to somebody who probably doesn't know. Like, that feels like something that only young, like Americans under 40 have been able to have. Like, I don't think that there's no way trick candles existed in the 50s.
No.
Right?
Someone was just high one day and was like, let's add a little sparkler here.
The guy who invented trick candles is a he's got a little bit of Saw in him.
Yeah, he's a menace.
Yeah, I love it though. He saw candles and he saw a birthday candle and was like, no, we could do so much more with this, dude.
Yeah, he was like, how do we reignite these?
Yeah, he's like, these give the birthday person too much credit. Like, why don't we make them, like, we could celebrate them and make them look stupid. They're like, wow, how do we do that?
Make
and he
them
was
blow like crazy.
he's like, give me $10,000 and a scientist. I think we can make this work.
Yeah, it was the first time I like they started sparking and I was like, oh, what are these, like firework candles? These are cool. And then they just started reigniting. I was like, oh, Bob, this was...
It was
like,
accidental.
It was accidental. I just like, we were like in the Whole Foods and I was like, all right, my sister was like, let's grab candles. So I just grabbed a, you know what I mean? And we put them in the cupcakes.
That's funny because they were even trick candles for the people that sold them to you. Because they were like, well, the trick is that he doesn't know that they're trick candles. That's like a double trick.
Yeah, I was about to get over there and start blowing them out, helping them out. You know what I mean? I was like, come on, Dad, I got you.
The whole family's just like, the house burns down. Everyone's like, what in the world?
We just all faint. We crazy.
Just 4 people trying to put out trick candles. And they all die.
Yeah, we didn't even get a chance to celebrate Dad.
Damn. That's hilarious.
Yeah, it was a good time though. But yeah, that's what we did. You know, it's like, you know, I spent so much time here on like the weekends doing this comedy, this podcasting, whatever, partying. It's like always nice to just go home, spend time with the folks.
How far away are
like
they?
45 minutes.
Damn, so you grew up outside of Philly?
Yeah, Lansdale. Yeah. So
nice.
and yeah, it's I always feel like.
And you don't know where they signed the Declaration of Independence?
Yeah, I don't.
I didn't have to say that. That was a cheap shot.
No, guys.
That was off camera, and I didn't need to reveal that he could throw a rock at a building that he doesn't know what they did there.
I'm just here living life. You know what I mean, guys? You guys know that. You've watched enough episodes if you've been here, you know.
Benjamin Franklin signed the Declaration of Independence a quarter mile away. And that's, I shouldn't say that because you're not great with fractions. But he did that so that 250 years later, you could podcast next to that building with no idea what he did. And that's Philadelphia.
Thanks, Ben Frank. Appreciate you, baby.
You're like the bridge guy?
Yeah, I loved your joke tonight about like, oh, is everyone in Philly just dying because there's like so many posters and billboards
that
about
was
like...
fun because everyone is like, I mean, I would have guessed that that's something everybody kind of talks about, but I think they all just drive around and see sometimes when you come into a scene or a city or you're visiting, you can say something to the people that they of course know, but it's so routine to them that they're like, oh yeah, fucking, you're right, that is weird.
Yeah.
To us, that's just like, I don't know, it started with a few billboards, now there's more, and we all talk about it. But it's fun to come. I love doing that, even if I'm in like a small town. It's like, if you can make one little comment about what's strange about this place to me, they all don't see it as strange, but they see that stuff every day. So ideally, if you do the right joke, the next time because I think a great joke is one that people take back into their life that kind of follows them.
Oh yeah, they think about it all the time.
So my hope is, at least on that, is that after seeing me tell that joke, at least for like a week, when people are driving around Philly, they see the billboards like, fucking, like that accident, like that joke, you know?
No, I agree. Like, this is the first year I started traveling for comedy. So this year I went to Austin for 10 days at the top of the year. I went to Miami, and I just was in Toronto for like 4 or 5 days. And that's like the first thing I do. Like, my opener or like my first 2 jokes is going to be something about the place that you guys might overlook, but me, it's like fresh to me. Like when I went to Toronto, every time I opened, I was like, I didn't realize you guys hate Indian people here so much, but they hate Indian people in Toronto. You know what I mean?
So
like,
how did they respond to that joke?
They're like, yeah, like we do.
That's weird.
Yeah, they got on board.
They're like, hooray for this Indian. He knows we hate the rest of the Indians.
Basically.
Well, okay.
Honestly, like I would go up to these open mics, or I did a couple like late night shows at like this backyard comedy, back room comedy club, and like 4 or 5 white dudes before me would do the Indian accent. So then when I went up, I was like, guys, this is how you really do the Indian accent. You know what I mean? I was like, if you're gonna do it right, because to an outsider like me, you're insulting on my whole people.
Right. If you're gonna appropriate me, commit.
Yeah, commit. You know, like if you're gonna do the head bobble, don't just do it a little bit. I want you to fucking break your neck, you know?
But you literally mean that because you're like, I hope that guy fucking breaks his neck.
No, I really enjoy like when like you know like if you like look, what is comedy but us trolling everybody? You know what I mean? If you have a like Toronto has a huge population of Indian people. That's why I went up to do this like South Asian arts festival. It was like comedy movies.
Yeah. How was it?
It was beautiful. It was a great time. I met so many brown artists.
Yeah.
And it was like I was like,
it's really shitty of those Toronto guys to do their Indian accent during the week that it's the Southeast Asian Comedy Festival.
Yeah,
Like, oh, they're saving this one all year.
And I was like, you can at least do it better, bro. Come on, commit.
Yeah. Now you've created. Oh, now those guys are all just gonna do even more horrible. Like, they're like, but the Indian guy said I needed to do it more Indian.
I told him by the next time I come back here next year, these accents better be on fucking point.
You know what that feels like? That feels like when I was a senior in college and my sister was living in New York and she was dating a guy named Kevin who was black, and he still is probably. But he was over and we watched The Throne had come out. This is 2012. And me and my roommate loved to watch The Throne, and we were rapping Paris.
Yeah.
And I was like, how am I going to introduce this song title? In Paris. You guys know.
Yeah.
And I remember right before I was like, oh, I can't say it.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, you could say it if it's in lyrics. Like, you could say it if it's in... And I didn't grow up with a ton of black people, so... I remember hearing that and being like, oh, I didn't know that was a rule. And you're like, oh, cool. Oh, you're allowed to use the word if it's in lyrics. And a black guy told me that.
Yeah.
But what that kind of feels like was, in retrospect, that he was like, I'm not going to be your ass, but I'm going to make sure someone does. I'm going to plant a bad seed here for some other guy to come too. And that sort of feels like what you're doing when you're like, guys, you got to do more. You got to add more Indian things. Because those guys are going to, at some point, even if it's cool in Toronto, they're going to go somewhere where people are like,
oh, yeah.
You can't do that.
I'm a menace, dude. I'm setting them up for failure.
That's what you were doing, right?
Yeah. I mean, as much as
That's
I
the
enjoy
chess.
it, you know
it's a Gandhi move.
Yeah, I'm playing chess, baby. I've always been playing chess, Brent.
Did you learn chess at a young age?
No, I'm just really bad.
You're just sticking to the metaphor.
Yeah. I'm not good at any board games. I recently learned how to play Catan. Have you ever played that game?
We played a lot.
Yeah, that game's a lot of fun once you get into it.
It is a lot of fun. I wish I had committed to never learning it, because it was sort of the same thing as weed, where I was like, I know once I try it, I'm gonna like love it.
Yeah.
And that's a little bit we've backed off it a little bit, but there was a time where we had like a Catan scoreboard. And we were playing with the same group all the time.
Oh yeah.
Like, tallying scores
and once you're smoking weed and playing Catan, it's fucking over.
You know, as soon as I say that though, I'm like, man, I can't wait to get back there and play Catan with the fellas. But you do that for 3 or 4 hours and go home, you're like, what the fuck did I do with my night?
Yeah.
Nothing.
When I come to Portland, that's what we're gonna do.
Please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me ask you something. You were a popcorn connoisseur. You worked with a lot of popcorn.
A lot of popcorn.
Let me ask you something. How much butter is too much butter for popcorn?
We were more of we were doing more like confectionery, gourmet, like caramel drizzle type caramel, like. So we didn't have too many that were just buttery. And then when you go to the movies, anytime it's like wet, that's too much butter. That's too much butter. What you should do is like, maybe you should pour a lot of butter on the top, and then take the top row of butter or popcorn and just throw that off.
Okay.
Maybe. And here's the thing. I'm not a movie theater popcorn expert.
Okay.
So I worked with a company called Popcornopolis, who's like gourmet popcorn. So we only had one flavor that was like butter, and it was more of like it was in a chip bag. So the flavors that I have more insight on are like our bestseller was called Zebra, caramel with dark and white chocolate.
Oh.
That was like the bestseller. It probably still is, 20 years in a row. And my favorite was one like peanut butter and chocolate. That one was cool. Kind of tasted like Reese's, but we couldn't give samples of it at Costco's because it had nuts in it.
Oh, right.
We did one called hot cocoa and marshmallows. That was delicious. They were like kind of chocolatey, but then they had these little marshmallow pieces.
Oh, I love that.
Dude, we'd come out with like a new flavor. There'd be like a different flavor of the month every month. So sometimes there was one called Lemon Heaven.
Ooh.
It's like kind of tastes like a lemon drop.
Okay.
And I didn't really like that, but my buddy, it was me and him for like a year or two just giving free samples. And we were like a 4-armed, 2-headed popcorn machine. Like I would do all the talking. He would do most of the scooping and like bagging.
Mm-hmm.
And but he also had he was a huge stoner, and he would put together these combos. So he put together the Lemon Heaven with the jalapeno cheddar.
Oh.
And he was like, he would tell people, he was like, this tastes like horchata. And it's like, and like we would make these combos. So even though I didn't like the lemon, we could sell it when dude, I could talk about popcorn I could derail this whole fucking podcast just talking about popcorn.
No, I like, this is why I bring it up, because the way you're even saying like, oh, the popcorn of the month, like my family had a Dairy Queen. And like that's why I do that bit on stage, like, oh, my family grew up in a family. Yep. And then like I have a bunch of Blizzards up here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like when you're saying all this shit, like, oh, the zebra, like I'm getting slightly excited here.
The thing that's fun, to pull it back to like what we do as comedians, is like, I had a college degree when I applied to Popcornopolis, and I kind of knew this is a bullshit job, but I also remember being like, this is the perfect job for me, because no matter how stressful or bad your day is, no one is going to believe you when you get off. You're like, man, the popcorn was crazy today. They're all like, are you being funny? You're like, nah, somebody kept taking all the samples and they wouldn't buy. And they're like, but you hear yourself talking, and you're like, my beard net was itching all day. You're like, all of this is funny.
Yeah.
Like even the thing that the first time I quit Popcornopolis, dude, and this guy was Indian, and I remember being like, what the fuck? We were at a Colorado Costco. It was busy, and this is like a 10th week of working for Popcornopolis, and what we have is this 5-bowl setup on the end cap of a Costco, and all the flavors are listed, but there's this big like plexiglass sneeze guard that covers. You have those
like almost
there.
like, yeah.
This guy on a Sunday afternoon in a busy Costco walks up to the booth. Do you know what I'm about to say?
He fucking reaches over.
Yeah. He, knowing like what we're all doing, we're scooping cups with gloves, setting them on top. This man walks straight up to the booth, reaches over the sneeze guard, and grabs a handful of popcorn from the middle bowl. And I remember sitting there, and dude, I swear, if I had like a sword in that moment, I would have cut his hand off. I would have been like, sir. And what's crazy is, I wish his race shouldn't have mattered in that. But somebody has told me like there's street markets and stuff in India where people are just kind of like grabbing by hands. So maybe he thought we were in fucking somewhere else.
The slums, yeah.
But it offended me. It was such like a boundary. And I think I must have already been like a little overwhelmed by the job. But that was one of the first times where I was like, fuck this. I'm not doing this job. What was fun is because I quit the job 4 different times. Okay. Every time I was like, sorry guys, I think I'm meant for more than Popcornopolis. And then like 6 months later, I'd see like a job listing for them, and I'd be like, hey guys,
I'm back.
Yeah. Remember how good I was at this? Remember how good I was at selling popcorn? And I remember one time I went into the interview with a full beard, and they were like, obviously, if you get the job, you're going to need to shave the beard.
Right.
And I was like, well, obviously, if you give me the job, I will. But it was like this sort of like, I'm not going to. And
Yeah.
But people in my second, third, and fourth tenure with the company, like people would reach over. It wasn't just Indian guys who did it. He was just the first and the one I never forgot. But it became something where once a month, maybe once every couple months, somebody was going to do it.
Yeah.
Sometimes they would be somebody who like they were mentally handicapped.
Yeah.
And so you can't, you're not going to be like, what the, you know. It would always frustrate me until one day I realized that when you, what you have to do at the booth when somebody reaches their hand in is you have to throw all the bowls away. Like you have to now throw all the samples out.
Yeah.
Take the 5 bowls, go back into the sanitizing place, and so nobody can get samples during that time, which from the company's angle is like, well, that sucks because it's busy and we could be selling a lot of popcorn. But then I realized, I'm like, oh, every time somebody reaches in my bowl, I get like a 20-minute break.
Yeah.
It was so funny. Once I realized that, and even you could go to the Costco employees and be like, someone just put their hand in my bowl. If somebody comes and asks about the popcorn, can you just tell them I'm on a break?
Yeah.
And they're all so over
The people coming
annoying
to Costco.
customers
Yeah.
that when they hear that, they're like, I'm sorry, man. Like, but you could get away for like 20 minutes with people. And I would act super frustrated when it happened. I'd be like, sorry, everybody. I'll be back in 20.
Yeah.
But then in my head, I was like, whatever. Now I have an unplanned break, and I'm just going to enjoy this. It's like, it's not my popcorn.
Yeah, dude. It's like you're just a servant of the big conglomerate, which is Popcornopolis.
Yeah, and every once in a while, someone's going to stick their hand in. I generally did a good job of making them feel like shit, because they'd be like, oh, what was wrong? And I'd be like, well, now we can't serve any of this.
You're like, buddy, come on, you have contaminated the popcorn. What did you do?
Don't try me, Bhav. You think this is my first podcast?
No, you know what? I'm thinking of an invention right now because I'm an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So what I'm thinking is
Trick popcorn.
no, on the
reach,
glass.
and then it's not there.
You put barbed wire, so when they fucking reach.
Yeah, that's funny until the first time I get cut on my own barbed wire, and then I'm like, fuck this job. Dude, it was a great. Okay, it wasn't a great time. It ends up coinciding with some of the like lonelier, darker periods of my life. But the stories are hilarious, and even when I was in them, most days I had a good day.
Yeah.
Especially by the end when I moved up to Oregon and did it. Dude, the third time was crazy because I quit and I was like, I'm leaving. I'm going to Portland. I'm depressed. I just need to go do something else.
Yeah.
And then they started a Portland team in the like 3 months that I moved there.
Yeah.
And then one day their team all walked out. Like they just all left as a group.
Uh-huh.
And so they called me one night. And they're like, did you end up moving to Portland? I was like, I can't leave. I can't avoid these. Every time I quit, they fucking find me. Yeah. And I remember being like, did you watch The Office? Mm-hmm. You know when Michael Scott goes and starts his own paper company?
Yeah.
And then he comes out and he's like, we're worth nothing, but I won't come back unless I get this, and this. It was one of those things where I was like, well, fuck it. If they don't give me what I want, I'm still right where I was yesterday. But I need a hotel for everything over 40 miles. I need this much per hour. And if I don't get that, I'm not coming back. And then the first time they were like, oh, okay, well, I'm sorry, we can't do it.
Yeah.
And I remember being like, okay. And then like 2 hours later, they call back. They're like, all right, you're in. Because there's only one guy who can come in and do the job without being trained.
Right.
So even though I had like gone to Oregon and I was trying to get away from it, I had been there for 3 months without a job. I needed money, and I'm somehow like, I'm a born popcorn salesman. This is what I meant to do. And so I came back and did it for another year. And that, I think, was the most, like, enjoyable.
Yeah.
The team was a lot, like, the stores, we had, like, 11 stores. They were all within a normal radius. Some of the stores in Southern California, when I worked for LA, I could get assigned to Costco that was like an hour and a half from my grandma's house, 2 hours with traffic.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm driving like 3 hours, maybe 4, to work an 8-hour shift. It was bullshit. A lot of the conditions of the job, not like unsafe, but they were like, oh, you should be getting more than this.
Right.
But it was crowd work every day. If you could make somebody laugh, you could sell them popcorn. That was what I told when I was a manager. That's how I'd like train people. You know, if you could dodge a wrench, you could dodge a ball. I'm like, if you could make them laugh, you could sell them popcorn.
Dude, that's like, it's funny you say that, because I felt like with the Dairy Queen, like I was working there every weekend since like fucking child, like eighth grade. Damn. So that's why like sometimes like my counterparts in the scene will be like, Bob, like when you do crowd work, sometimes it's like you're not really like trying, and it's like, no, because I'm just having a conversation. And, you know, like, and you kind of just find it in there, you know, because, like, you're selling something fun. Ice cream is fun. You know what I mean? It's not like coffee. People come in 6 a.m. for their coffee. They're miserable. They're pissed off. And the caffeine doesn't kick in for another 20 minutes.
But even then, nobody's like, well, try this coffee. They need it so badly. They're like, give me that.
It's like, a drug. It's like a type of caffeine is a type of like drug that people need, that yearn for in the morning.
Right.
Popcorn is fun. Ice cream is fun.
And there's nothing more uncomfortable. I did it a few times than like being a pushy popcorn salesman.
Yeah.
Even people who like, dude, I remember my friend's dad. It's so fun that this is like unlocking all these stories. Like, damn, I got stories. I grew up in a city called Poway, California, and this girl that I went to school with, her dad had to be the richest guy in Poway, and there was some rich people. This guy invented some form of like surround sound. Like he invented something crazy. He had an original check from Thomas Edison.
Oh shit!
On the wall of his home theater. His daughter, who I was friends with, for her like 8th birthday or something, her dad rented a full-size carousel.
Wow!
With like the things, and she loved it so much, he just kept it. So her house had. On the way from the house to the bowling alley, which was like separate, you would pass. I never rode it, but she had like a legit carousel.
That's crazy.
That probably 25 people could go on.
Yeah.
At once. And it was just in her house.
That's amazing.
And one time, her dad came to Costco, and I saw him, and I said something to the effect of like, you can afford a bag of popcorn. Like,
right.
And I remember him being like, and he walked off, and it was like bad business, basically. Yeah. He's a good businessman, or he's an inventor, really.
Right.
But the idea that I would call him out for like a $12 product and be like, come on, you want a few bags? You're rich.
Yeah.
Versus be like, oh, what's up, Mr. Norris? Here, have what this, blah, blah, blah. And then he would choose on his own, like, all right, let me get a bag.
Yeah.
I'll throw it away on my way out. But instead of me being like, oh, it's like, it's not the vibe of a popcorn booth. And I had a manager towards the end who was brought in to like kind of change the sales tactics, and she wanted me to ask everybody who walked by, hey, come try some popcorn. Hey, try some popcorn. Right. And I told her straight up, I go, that's not really my style. Yeah. And I was like, here's how I do things. Everybody that walks by, I say, hey, how are you? Yeah. They see a giant popcorn booth behind me. They understand what this store is, and when I have free samples. Yeah. They'll choose whether or not they want popcorn. And often, if I just greet people and say, hey, how are you? They'll be like, oh, yeah, I'll try some popcorn. Without me being like, try some popcorn. Yeah. Because I hate the idea of me for 8 hours getting constantly rejected, it takes down your stamina.
Of course.
And, you know, if you're just pumping out good energy, hey, this is a fun booth. How you doing? How you doing? I remember sometimes people would walk by. I'd be like, hey, how are you, sir? And they'd go, no, thank you. And I'd be like, oh, I just said, how are you?
Yeah.
And they'd be like, oh, I'm sorry, my bad.
Yeah, exactly.
But that was how I would sell popcorn. I would give people what I thought they liked, tell them about it, tell them they could have as many as they like, and then when they would look at the price, I would go, oh, and that's for any 3 of your choice. It was like more suggestions.
Right.
And I was looking for cues more than being like, and here, and this is the price, and this is how you do it. I was watching and kind of waiting. Same with like crowd work, where you're like, you can see, oh, this person's engaging. I don't know if it's the parallel is direct, but it's just like pressure in a setting that shouldn't have pressure just makes things uncomfortable.
Yeah, exactly.
They can feel the desperation.
Yeah.
And we're a popcorn booth. Most people leaving Costco are spending $300. If they like what I'm doing, $12 is nothing. They're gonna throw it in. I don't need to talk about how much this is. You know, people ask, I have these things in my head, but I'm not attacking people with it.
Oh, of course, yeah.
In fact, when it would get busier, I would get slow. I'd slow down and I'd be like, I knew everybody wanted popcorn, but if I could just talk to one person and make them laugh, then when they bought, 6 people.
They're like, what's going on here? Why is this popcorn so contagious?
Yeah, you would get these things called pops, where like you have a big group, you're charming everybody, you're giving everybody things, and then finally one guy goes, okay, I'll take 2 zebra and 1 kettle, and then 4 other people say it. So I'm scooping in Queso Blanco. That was my partner in crime. His name was Queso Blanco. Because my name was Senor Palomitas, which was Mr. Popcorn.
Okay.
Because I spoke Spanish. Queso Blanco didn't speak Spanish. He was this gringo. See, we were both these stoned popcorn salesmen.
Yeah.
But I would be, because we did some of these all Spanish speaking stores. And all my Spanish skills came back. So I'd be like, hola, como pruebe todos? You know, like, try them all. And he would just be back there kind of like scooping and bagging what I told him to. But I think we had a lot of fun, but then at the end of the day you got to go back and go, I'm a fucking almost 30-year-old free sample guy with a college degree wearing a beard net every day. Even if this job's fun, it gets way less fun the older I get.
Yeah.
You know? You see somebody from high school, you're like, yeah, this is what I do now. You're like,
No.
So at 29, right before the pandemic, I quit, and it's been 6 years clean.
Of the popcorn.
You know, there's a chance they sold. They were a mom and pop company. They've sold to like a bigger conglomerate.
Yeah.
So I kind of don't even think I would be
right.
on their radar. But I could see it between me and being homeless. There would be like one shot where I'm like, Popcornopolis. Do you need Senor Palomitas back in the like, who is this?
No, that's amazing. Cause like, you know, like if you ever open up like your own club or something one day, you know what I mean? Like popcorn is the thing to sell. You know
For sure, and not the shitty stuff. Like gourmet popcorn will be a staple of. I hope I never own a comedy club because it doesn't usually end well.
Yeah,
dude. People own comedy clubs thinking it's gonna be fun, and most of the ones I meet are like, I thought this was gonna be way more fun.
That's crazy because you know I'm like at this point where like if I keep living in Philly, I might like you know buy a property where it's just like I can live and might have commercial space, and like what do I do with that commercial space? Like maybe the second floor, well the first floor you walk in might be like a coffee shop, breakfast shop, but if it has a basement, I'm gonna put like an art space down there. You know what I mean? Like,
that would be super cool, especially if you could make it like a cafe during the day, and a showcase at night. I have to pee so bad.
Yeah, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
I'll be right back.
Yeah.
This is fun. But when you're the gourmet popcorn guy, you are like one of the more popular people in Costco. So by the time on a busy day, you're like, dude, I might have talked to 2,000 people today.
Now let me ask you, you ever get any booty from being the gourmet popcorn guy?
No.
I got.
No. There was one time a woman gave me her number, and she was a single mother who was like newly a single mother. And in retrospect, I'm like, she saw me and saw a guy who wouldn't leave her. She saw a stability in that beard net and didn't. She wasn't like, that's sexy. She was like, that's that guy's willing to settle.
I can lock him down.
Yeah, there was
I can
something
trap
safe
him.
about the popcorn. But no, generally, as charming, maybe some of it's just being 25 and not knowing. But even then, it's something about the position of free sample guy. It has like a low tier to it. No girl wants to be like, yeah, I met a cute guy at Costco today. Like, well, really? What was he doing? Like, no, it doesn't matter what he was doing. He was there, though.
Sell me popcorn.
Yeah.
You're going to make something else pop later.
It's so funny because in San Diego, I did it for years, and no one ever saw me at the popcorn booth and said, oh, do you do comedy?
Yeah.
But there was several different times where I would be on stage being like, so I sell popcorn at Costco, and someone would go, that's where I know you from. And you're like, fuck, I'm doing this wrong.
No, I love that. One time I was at a party in like Temple, and someone was like, wait, you're the Dairy Queen boy.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I am.
Yeah, you say that on one level, and you're like, don't tell the bitches that. Don't tell the girls at Beta Sig that I'm the Dairy Queen. Please.
No, when it's your Dairy Queen, like when it's the family Dairy Queen, it's a little different, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you take more pride in it?
Yeah. You're like, that's my ice cream, bitch.
You're right. You're like, that is sending me to college.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
That without that Dairy Queen, there would be no this. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like when so the Popcornopolis, when it was family owned, he had like 4 sons, and they each had like their own little division of the company that they would be part of.
Yeah.
And there was a period of time where they got rid of the free sample team. They called it road shows.
Okay.
But because they liked me, they transitioned me to this. Oh, this is shitty, dude. This was really dark. They had me do this thing called merchandising, which generally is like a useful thing. It's like trying to make sure that all the product is in the best place. But we would have these racks, one popcorn rack in every like grocery store.
Sure.
So not just the Costco's, like the Safeways and that, whatever they call them out here. And my job was to go drive to 10 different grocery stores a day and take a picture of the popcorn rack and then count which bags of which flavor were there, restock them, and then because they were in cones, like sometimes they would get squished in the shipping. So my job, this is a real job, people would walk through and be like, is this guy doing a real job? My job was to take the twist tie off the bag and then make it a cone, fill it back up with air, and then retie the thing so that it looked pretty.
Yeah.
And I would do that to 20 bags of popcorn. Just sit in front of the chip aisle, spinning these little twist ties on this thing, and people are like, "What the? That's a real job."
Yeah.
And it was the most antisocial job, but my boss was one of the owner's sons, and the whole time I was like, "This is a bullshit department. I think this whole thing is just made so the son has a job."
Right.
I'm working as a low man in a bullshit department that doesn't really even need to exist.
So he can have something to take care of.
And some people to boss around.
Yeah.
That job sucked.
No, dude, that's amazing. I didn't really know gourmet popcorn was that deep,
Well, when you're, it's not for most people, I think, but they were committed. And the guy who ran the company, he owned 2 businesses before that. He owned, I think it was called Illuminations. They were a candle company that sold to Yankee Candle, and then they owned Sunglass Hut before it became Sunglass Hut.
Wow.
So these people, of course, their plan ultimately was they sold Popcornopolis, but these guys live nice.
Yeah, of course.
Oh yeah.
Now, have you ever seen the popcorn manufacturing plant?
I went to it, but when people would ask me like the details of how it was made, I'd be like, I don't fucking know.
What did the aroma? Was it fucking beautiful? Like,
yeah, you could smell it for blocks.
Yeah.
Because it was a huge factory.
So down at the shipyard, Tasty Cake is down the block. So on Monday mornings when they're making their fucking crimpets, the whole shipyard just smells like crimpets, dude. And it's like I have a sweet tooth out the wazoo, I tell you.
Yeah.
And I start fiending. I'm like, oh, I need to get something from I need to get a Tasty Cake in me. You know what I mean?
Can you also just go over there and buy one?
No, like.
Because it's their, like.
That's like their.
So you have to go somewhere that they distribute it to get one?
Exactly.
Do you go get one?
No, I'm trying to like, look, my sugar addiction is so bad that we keep bags of fudge at my parents' house from the DQ, and I'll just be ripping it from the bag. You know what I mean? So it's like it's like a test. Like if I smell it, I'm like, this is enough. This is enough. Like, because once I start in a day, once I put the first sweet in my mouth, it's like kind of, I'm not stopping until I go to bed. Like, I'm a crack addict.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I am, like, sugar.
You live right next to a 7-Eleven, right?
Yeah. So when I used to smoke weed, like, I stopped smoking weed, like, last year. But when I used to smoke weed, I would go down there and get, like, three candy bars, like, all king size. Just sit here. And then I'd wonder, like, why I have diarrhea every day. You know what I mean? But, like, it was, like, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It was good. But it was bad for my insides.
For sure. I mean, the combination of all the free popcorn you want plus daily hot dog and pizza combo from Costco is like, yo, you think you had diarrhea, dude?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think about the Costco pizza? People rave about it, but I had it twice, and I don't think it's like that amazing.
You gotta have it hot.
Okay.
And it's, I don't know, it's consistent. So it's not better than any of the, like I wouldn't choose it over a slice from most places.
Right.
But I wouldn't call it bad pizza. It's probably along that lines of like, sex is like pizza. Even when it's bad, it's still pretty good.
Yeah. And since it's consistent, you know what you're getting. You're not like surprised.
Pretty consistent across the board, and it's like, damn, those hot dogs too. It's like, are they great? Well, they're pretty good, and they're $1.50. It's just when you're there, you didn't pack a lunch. Mm-hmm. Your diet doesn't matter because you're 25.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm gonna eat a hot dog. And when I've had too many hot dogs, I'll eat a slice of pizza, and I'll just go off those for more years than my body would have preferred. But
did you ever do the thing where you like wrapped a pizza and a hot dog together? I know, like I saw it on TikTok one time. Like there's like a thing.
They'll kick you out of Costco if you do that.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, every time I'm like at home, like every time I go home, we make a Costco trip so I can pick up like 3 weeks worth of chicken or whatever. And I was thinking about doing it one time, but my mom was like, but I made dinner. And I was like, you know what? I'd rather have your dinner than a fucking hot dog wrapped in a Costco pizza. You know?
Yeah, I think that's the only answer that doesn't break your mother's heart.
Yeah, and also, it's like, it's not going to break my insides. You know, like, I know where that's going to lead, and it's not good. But I need that, like, good, wholesome, vegetarian, hot Indian food to clean me out.
I mean... on road gigs, I'm stopping at Costco's on my drives because it's just, you're already on budgets, so it's like, oh, if I can get a lunch for under $5 and just keep moving, and Costco gas is usually a little cheaper, so Costco is still, and then I have fun anytime I'm in them. Every Costco feels and looks very similar from the inside. So it's like a little bit of PTSD in the sense of like, but I see the popcorn, or the free sample people that are employed by Costco, I always kind of looked down on them because they get a different product every day.
Yeah.
So they're not passionate about it.
Right.
They just are like organic apple juice. You know, and I'd walk by, I'd be like, you got no pride. You know, like, so every once in a while, if somebody didn't come to work, we would have to hire one of those Costco people to come just like
sell your shit.
Be what Queso Blanco was.
Yeah.
But they would always be like, they never got, very rarely would one be like, this is so fun.
Yeah. No, I totally get that. Because, like, you know, when I, like, sometimes I'll go places and, like, you know, the employee seems like, oh, like, this is the worst gig ever. But, like, when I was selling Dairy Queen, like, I was like, this is a representation of us. So, like, you know, like...
I took pride in it.
Yeah, and I was like, you know, every time a customer was like, hey, what can I get for y'all? You know what I mean? I flirt a little bit. I'm like, oh, you want to put some jimmies on that? You know what I mean? You know, rainbow sprinkles lighten up your day, baby girl. You know what I mean? So it's like, I mean, I sometimes go back to the Dairy Queen now. We sold it so my parents could retire to another Indian family. But, like, sometimes I basically got, like, you know, like when a celebrity gets, like, the black card or the orange card at Dunkin' and then get whatever they want whenever they want. Like, they basically, when I come there, they're like, oh, you can just make it. Like, just make it whatever you want. Don't tell us to make it. You know what I mean? So, like, it just, like...
Wait a minute. That seems like you presented that as if it was a perk, but you're like, basically, when I go to Dairy Queen, I have to make my own food.
Yeah, but it's like, I want to make it the way I want it.
But they literally let you go in the back?
Yeah, because it's like another Indian family.
Right.
So they're just like, you know, I'll sit there and shoot the shit with them for like 30 minutes. We'll talk about it. But then they're like, honestly, I just want like a little ice cream because I'm going to like stack it with like candies and fudges. And they're like, no, take this. No, take this. No, try this. I'm like, nah, dog. I just came here.
You have a plan.
Yeah, I came here for my fix.
Do you ever go in there and notice something that they're doing that you're like, it's not the standards that we held?
Yeah, I do, but it's like it's not ours anymore. So you
just let it go.
Yeah, it's not mine to say.
Could you give an example, just since I gave a million?
It's like, you know, like just the way they have things organized. It's like not, you know what I mean? It's like not conducive to the flow of just like fucking grabbing shit and like things like that. You know, it's like, you know, or like it's not as like clean and organized. You know?
Are you listening, guys? Are you listening?
It's like, I get it now because like, so their kids, they don't take pride in the Dairy Queen. Like I met their kids one time and they're like, oh, I hate working here.
How old are they? They're
like in college and one is becoming a doctor and one is becoming a lawyer. And I try to explain to them like, you know, like, look, my sister is a UX designer. She makes good money. I'm an engineer. I make good money. But the only reason we got to do those things is because of this Dairy Queen. And it's like, this is the thing that's funding your thing. And it's like, when you get into your real jobs, you're going to miss this actually. You know, like I sit there and I do real engineering now. And I'm like, you know, I kind of miss just, you know, someone's like coming up like, oh, what kind of blizzards for me? And I'm like, what kind of candies do you like? You know what I mean? What, do you like cookies or do you like candies? Do you like vanilla? Do you like chocolate?
Whenever a buff dude would come up, I'd be like, you a spice fan? Like, I love spice. I'm like, try the jalapeno cheddar. Give it about 10 seconds to kick in, but the more you eat, the hotter it gets.
Yeah.
And then people would be like, oh, I like spice.
Yeah, you know the crazy...
Goes right with the beer.
My favorite Dairy Queen story was like some guy, this black guy, like tatted up, face tattoos, sagging pants. Honestly, now that I think about it, it might have been Lil Wayne. Like I didn't like listen to rap as a child, but it could have been him because he came with like a couple like bigger black guys behind him that were like bodyguards.
The way you led into that story makes me almost 99.9% sure it's not Lil Wayne.
Yeah, good enough.
If you had started that story by being like, one time Lil Wayne came in, I would have been like, whoa, tell me.
Well, the thing is, I didn't really listen to rap at like in 8th grade like that, you know what I mean? But like now that I look back at it, but like it was like he came and he was just like, yeah, I need that vanilla. You put that mint syrup on it. And he was like, put some of that whipped cream.
That's Lil Wayne's favorite ice cream.
I know. I'm not even done. He was like, put some of them rainbow jimmies and put some of that cherry on top. And I was like, all right, yeah, no problem.
That's the exact combo he raps about in the Carter 6. He talks about his favorite Dairy Queen combo. It was Lil Wayne.
Yeah, he asked for pussy on the side, but I was like, I don't serve that here.
That was 50 Cent.
Yeah, but then I started giggling, and he goes, yo, bro, this ain't for me. It's for my little sister. But I see the whole entourage, and then I'm like, yeah, it is. Like, I was like, bro, it doesn't matter. It's just ice cream. Like, I don't care. You get what you like. I was like, And then he walks away with his homies and he starts eating it. And I was like, that wasn't for you. There's no little sister in sight. You know, it's like, and it's still like my favorite Dairy Queen memory.
You made Lil Wayne insecure about his ice cream order. That's crazy.
It just he was like, I was like, what? I was like, this is yummy.
I wonder if you saw a different tatted up black guy, if you'd be like, yo, Weezy. How many black people do you know?
I know. At that time, I didn't know many. When I was a young boy, I didn't know many. You know what I mean? Especially at that.
You should have checked the tapes.
Yeah, I wish. They're
deleted.
They're deleted. When we left the DQ, we deleted all of them.
He doesn't remember.
Yeah, but that was like that, and like watching like when a baby tries ice cream for the first time, and they're fucking like mind just their eyes flutter like that. That's like really excellent.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, they're like fucking, or like okay, like a mom will have the ice cream. They'll be holding a baby in their arm, and the kid is just like. And like she's like trying to pay for it, but the ice cream is just like coming like this to them, and they're just like, ah. Like
that was your favorite moment.
Yeah, those are like, you know, they're yearning for it.
Right.
You know, and it's like, those are like the memories I miss. You know, and like you don't get that.
Dude, you can find a baby and give it ice cream. You don't need to work at Dairy Queen.
No, but it's like that first time, like that very first time. You know, like that's like when the fucking.
You could put a Craigslist out. Has your baby ever had ice cream?
I'm going to jail.
I'll give them free ice cream as long as you let me watch.
Yeah, that sounds. I'm going to jail.
It's weird. It's weird. It's not illegal.
Not yet.
He's waiting. He wants to give babies ice cream. Not just any babies. Babies who have never tried it. It's like a weird virgin type thing.
Yeah, I had my fix, you know what I mean? I miss it.
My favorite thing is when little kids would come up, if they were under 13, they needed a parent with them because you didn't know about allergies.
Right.
But they would come up and you'd be like, go get your mom and dad and I can get you whatever you want. And they'd be like, my mom told me I could come here. And I'd go, get your mom and dad, I can get you whatever you want. And they'd be like, why? And I'd go, well, for allergy reasons. And then they go, I don't have allergies. Go, get your mom and dad, we'll get you whatever you want.
Yeah.
And then I remember one time I said that to a kid, and then he brought his mom back. He was on these fucking shoes that skate.
Oh, the Heelys.
So I tell him that, he rolls off, and then he comes back with his mom and starts to sample them. And he has a couple, but I know kids aren't buyers, so I'm always like, you can have one, you can have a couple, but I don't really want to give, like if a kid comes up and goes, can I try all of them?
Yeah.
I kind of look at the parent and go, are you going to step in here and be like, don't be greedy?
Right.
Most people, it's only white kids who do this, who come up and go, yeah, can I try all of them? But this kid brought his mom back. He has like maybe 3. And he goes, and his mom's like standing just far enough. He brought her over to show me, but she was like doing her own thing. And so he gets to like the 4th, 5th, and 6th or something. He's like, can I try them all? And I go, you've had enough. And he goes, it just sucks that you have to lie like that. Like he called me a liar. And then he just skated away on his little Heelys. And I remember being like, fuck you, like just some of the kids that come, I don't know. Yeah, kids are funny.
Ours was in Plymouth Meeting Mall, so it's like in this town called.
In the mall?
Yeah, it was in this town called Bluebell, where it's like kind of like a rich area. And I remember sometimes like kids would like. So Dairy Queen came out with this policy one time. It was like, if we don't flip the Blizzard upside down, the next one is free. And so it was like, because we're trying to show you how thick it is because it's soft serve. And I remember like several times I would hear kids in the line being like, oh, he's not gonna flip it upside down, man. We're gonna get the next. And they're like scheming against me. It's like, brother, I can hear. You know, first of all, I have ears of an Indian mom. I can fucking hear 6 people down. So then I would just start giving blizzards to them upside down and just shoo. Like you, and they're like fucking, you know what I mean? And man, like that was.
Did you ever fuck it up?
No, because like you kind of know. You kind of know, like, okay, if this blizzard is not gonna flip, like, don't even give it to them. Just make another one. You know what I mean? I'll put this in the freezer. I'll eat it later. You know what I mean? Like it's like
You did that on purpose.
no, it's like because I don't need that much ice cream. I want the toppings. You know,
Yeah.
like a small
You
blizzard.
made that very clear.
Yeah, the small blizzard is quite a lot of ice cream. So it's like I don't want like, and if it's not my flavor profile, then I gotta add shit to it. And it's like
I could just imagine though at the end of all your shifts there being like 6 blizzards in the freezer. Like, wow, they just weren't up to standard.
well, my buddy Jackson, who like we hired, he was like a close friend of mine in childhood. He would sometimes like mess it up, and then eventually I think my dad was like, Jackson, you can eat all the ice cream you want. Like you don't have to mess up the blizzards. You know what I mean? Because like it becomes a threshold like. When you start at Dairy Queen, you're like, oh, ice cream. But after like 3-4 years of working there, like you don't actually want to eat all this anymore. You just want like your quick fix of like little fudge, like, and then it's like, okay, I'm kind of done. And it's like, we got him on that eventually.
He got burned out on free ice cream.
Yeah.
We had this. So we would be in these stores for a full week, and we can end soon.
Yeah.
The bowls are small, but we would fill them because we weren't filling them with like the actual bags that we sell.
Mm-hmm.
We would get these 50-pound, not 50 pounds, these gigantic sample bags of each flavor.
Yeah.
And that would be how we filled the bowls throughout the week. And so these things were. Sorry.
You're good. No, you're
They
good.
were like. Maybe just a little shorter than this pillow.
Yeah.
Filled with popcorn. And at the end of the week, sometimes, if there was like half a bag and we didn't want to ship it to the next store, I would just take them.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times I would give them to the Costco employees because that helped.
It's
when we
reputation.
came
Like,
back
yeah,
there
rapport.
the next time.
Yeah.
But towards the end, when I was just starting to get into Portland comedy, and I was still popcorn guy, I would take some of these gigantic sample bags, and some of my new comedy friends, when I'd go like hang out, they'd invite me to their place, and I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna bring a bag of popcorn, and I would have this apple pie flavored popcorn, and just leave 20 pounds of it at a like a house full of like 4 alcoholic comics. And the stories I would hear from them, like, dude, I came home and what's his name he was eating popcorn out of a measuring cup, and like, dude, yeah, it's such a funny gift to get people, and you're like, it's nothing to me.
Mm-hmm.
But when you see your friends with just so much popcorn,
Oh yeah,
it's crazy.
There was a point in my life where when we had the Dairy Queen, like every time someone had a birthday, I had this like kind of like quarter life crisis. Where I was like, you don't give your friends.
I could see how you would have an issue with the mid and quarter life, because those fractions.
Yeah, and because Indian people live so long, so I was like, where's my quarter and where's my mid? I don't know.
Another good point.
Yeah, it's like I was like, we don't give each other cakes anymore. You know what I mean? Like you don't like go to like your homie's 38th birthday party. There's like, unless he has a girlfriend.
The guy at the mic had a cake.
Yeah, but he brought that for like the people.
So what was your crisis?
So then I was like, oh, I feel so bad, and I was like, we make cakes. So then every birthday party I'd go to, I would always bring like an ice cream cake, and I would like, if they had like a girlfriend or whatever, I'd be like, what is their favorite candy? And I would like show up with like a cake, and I was like, and they'd always be like, what the. You know what I mean? And that was like, fuck all the alcohol and the drugs. It was like that cake.
My little cousins they're half Mexican, and they lived in San Diego when I was selling popcorn down there. And there was a couple different birthday parties that they had where I would get the little mini cones, and I'd show up as Senor Palomitas. And they all speak Spanish, so I'm like, hola, niños, ¿cómo están? Me llamo Senor Palomitas. And I'd be like, giving them all the popcorn, and my little cousins thought it. Like, they still call me Senor Palomitas sometimes.
Did you have to wear a fit? Like, what was the fit? Did you wear like a sombrero?
It was like a polo shirt with a hat. It was lame.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't anything special.
You weren't looking like a real senor.
No.
Oh.
No, my mom got these like custom name badges printed. So like under my name tag that said Brent, I would flip it up and it'd say Senor Palomitas. And then Queso Blanco had one too.
Yeah. You weren't like riding a donkey in?
No, that seems like extreme. There would even be some people who would be like, they thought I was mocking them. So like sometimes I'd be like, hola, ¿cómo está? And they'd be like, what makes you think I speak Spanish? And then I would have to act like I didn't speak English. I'd be like, okay, what? No hablo inglés.
Por qué? I don't... Yeah, low-key, my mom, she started learning a little Spanish because we had a lot of Spanish customers, and she'd say, like, chico, mediano, grande. And at first, I thought, like, Mom, like, because she has an Indian accent. So I'd be like, Mom, this is sounding fucked up. But, you know, at the end of the day, she has a little bit of broken English. These Mexican people coming have broken English. And I was like, you know what? Actually, you're not doing anything wrong. You know,
they appreciate, most people appreciated. Maybe it took them a second where they were skeptical, but then they're like, oh, he's speaking and he's telling me to try everything and he's being warm. This isn't like an act.
Yeah.
People would laugh at the Senor Palomitas thing because they knew it's not my real name.
Exactly.
And then they're like, and his sidekick has a name. Like,
Yeah.
where am I right now?
Exactly.
Like, everyone else is just doing samples. These guys are like their own TV show.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Like I said, it wasn't the best time of my life, but we did make the best of it.
And I think that's what's most important. I think that's what comedy also is. It's like, you know, like even tonight, like the open mic, it's like, you know, like some people might go up there and they're like, man, this is what it is. But it's like, as long as you're making the best of what it is, that's like the muscle you're trying to work, right? Because like when you get to something that's like a really nice show and like there's 100, 500 people there that all came to laugh, and it's like, oh, and you rip it and you're like, it's because I tried so hard to make those people that didn't want to laugh. Now these people, like, I remember earlier this year I did like my first feature spot at a club, like 20 minutes. I ended up doing like 30 minutes both nights, and it was easy. Like I didn't even get through my full act because it was like when I started doing crowd work, it was like I couldn't, like, I had to be like, there's multiple times where I had to be like, all right guys, back to the act. You know what I mean? I was like, now we're just flirting. I was like, what is this? You know what I mean? Like, and it was like that was the most, like, that's what I got out of Dairy Queen, like how to flirt like that. And it was like, you know, it was like, and that's what Popcornopolis gave you. And it's like, it's like, I feel bad for comics sometimes that are just like sad and they're like, all right, I can do comedy because like anybody can do comedy. Yeah, they can. But it's like, if you like, you know, have you ever come across the comic that's like, it doesn't, like, I don't care about this, you know what I mean? But like, you do care. Like the nonchalant, like, oh, who cares, like whatever, but like
the bitter,
like not bitter, but it's like who gives a fuck, like what happens, like, you know what I mean? But like it doesn't matter if you do good or bad, but like you want to do good, you know what I mean? But it's like, so then why do you push this persona of like, I don't care? You know what I mean? Like I've had people tell me like, Bob, you care too much if you do good or bad. And I was like, because I don't want to go up there and waste my time and bomb.
There's probably a happy medium, right?
Yeah.
Because like caring too much with each set does seem like a waste of energy, because the reality is it can always go a bunch of different ways.
Right.
And so if you're just riding each set, the high and low, that could be like exhausting. But
you should care a little bit. That's what I'm saying.
You need to care.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you do need to give the audience the idea that you're not too affected by whether or not they laugh, because that maintains the control.
Yeah.
Once they realize like, oh, we are in control.
Yeah.
Then it's a tough dynamic. But yeah, if you were just up there bombing and like, well, I don't care. Well, then nobody cares.
Yeah, and then like maybe you start blaming the audience, like, you guys suck. Oh, fuck you guys. No, it's like in reality you lacked the gaining of control.
Which happens.
It happens. But it's like, I hate when people like blame the audience. I had a guy on my podcast, Jonah Nye. He's a comic in Brooklyn. He grew up like doing opera, and I was like, that's crazy. And then like he does like a bunch of philanthropy work now, and he does acting. And he was like on like a cooking show or whatever on some streaming service. But he said in one acting class, the teacher told him like, comedy is almost like the audience is your acting partner, and if you're only getting a 7 from them, you'll never really get a 10, because the ceiling is maybe like a 7 or an 8, and if that's the vibe, just match their ceiling, and then the whole show kind of like, sometimes you can't erupt them to a 10,
or you can't come in
knowing what a 10 is, you have to size a 10 up to what they're giving you. And if you come in like, where are you guys?
Yeah.
It's like, well, maybe their 10 was like 5 notches below.
Exactly. You have to dial them up.
Yeah. Well, and you do that only by like kind of syncing up with them, but I don't know how to do that yet.
Well, in my last year after I stopped smoking weed, I've really tried to become present on stage. You know what I mean? And I think that's where I've really learned to like sizing up. Like even tonight, I was like, you know, I just when I saw all those white kids up there, like college white kids, I was like, these fuck boys. You know, and I felt like, oh, okay, I was a fuck boy. Fuck boys.
It was crazy how like they all looked the same.
They were all cookie cutter.
They all looked so similar.
Yeah, they were all homies, and they were all like, you know what I mean? But like, it was like when you start trying
I
to.
hope I never see any of them again.
You won't.
I'm just kidding. They're fine.
All right, Brent. Let me ask you one
bad.
serious question, and then we get out of here. Because this has been a pleasure, but you're gonna go hit some more mics.
That's true.
And I'm gonna go to bed.
Word.
Because I have to get up.
Sure.
And I like to go to the gym in the morning.
All right.
Because I'm trying to become a swole motherfucker.
Sure.
Again.
Who doesn't know where the Declaration of Independence is?
Hey, you don't need to know where the Declaration is when you got fucking biceps.
Yes.
Okay. There's this one kid at my work. He was in the Army. And because they didn't have phones in the Army, he liked to ask them a question every Thursday. It was like the question of the week. And he's been doing this for now like a year and a half, and I proposed a question to him today. I was like, if you could have an article of clothing, it's not even important about the article of clothing, really, but made out of an animal. Doesn't matter what the animal is. Cow. Well, that already exists. Leather already exists like that. It's not really exotic. But like, what would the animal be? You know what I mean? Like, you know, like, because we were talking about like there's people that get like these bags that are made out of like caiman alligators or crocodiles that you have to get passports for if you like, you know, like take them to another country. Like I didn't really even know that. Like there's certain like animals that you can't just take across if they're like in a bag, like a Birkin bag. Like you have to get like a passport for that bag.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I was like, pfft. So if there is like an animal that you could get made into an article of clothing, what animal would it be? Example, I said Pomeranian socks. Like the little Pomeranian dogs?
Yeah. Do you have a specific Pomeranian in mind?
I would like them to be like the one that's like an Oreo, that's like almost like brown and...
Oh no, I meant like your neighbor's dog. Or
No specific. I just, I saw a beautiful girl in college one time, and she had a Pomeranian Frankie. And Frankie had such great personality, and I was like, I love Frankie to be on my toes.
I would get tiger shorts.
Tiger shorts.
Yeah.
What type of tiger, though? There's so many tigers. Bengal tiger.
So the Bengal's is the Bengal the white one?
No, Bengal is like the one that's like in India, like your typical tiger. But I think you're talking about like almost like the Siberian tiger. Maybe that's the one.
Since you're Indian, I don't want an Indian tiger. I'll take that would be offensive.
No,
I'll
you
take
can't
the
offend me.
Siberian. I'll have the white and black tiger, like like shorts.
Yeah, and
So
when you
like
rub it, it's like
actual tiger shorts.
Yeah, I love that. That's hot, bro. That matches your. You know, like I was going through your Instagram, and you're someone that wears shorts on stage.
I do.
Yeah, man, that's real ballsy. That's how I know you're good.
It's getting mixed reviews.
Yeah, because I wore shorts on stage one time, and I bombed so hard that I was like, never. Even if it's 100 degrees, I'm never wearing shorts on stage.
Mine's the opposite. It's like, I love wearing shorts because I'll wear shorts, and how I usually wear them is in the winter over long johns.
Yeah.
Because it's comfortable. To
Yeah,
me,
yeah.
it feels like I'm still dressing like it's summer, you know? And it's... there's certain times where I'm wearing I've been wearing those a lot since February because I dressed like that already, but then one time I was supposed to go to a show. I forgot I was on a show, and I was already dressed like this, and I was 45 minutes late, and I was like, okay, I'll be there, but you're not going to love the way I'm dressed. It was at a winery.
Yeah.
But it ended up being hilarious because as soon as I walk out, people are kind of laughing already, and it's like, yeah, if your comedian looks silly, like why does a comedian have to look professional?
Yeah, that's why I
It's
keep the
supposed to be funny.
mullet, bro. That's why
Sure.
I'm like, I look stupid.
So, but there's been bigger shows where I'm like, I want to wear my shorts. I think I would present myself most authentically in shorts right now, but it's like my first time working with this guy. We're in a theater. I would hate for him to see me and be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So I'll wear jeans, but then I'll feel like I'm wearing like a suit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I wish I could fucking be a little more. But when I'm selling the tickets, I'm gonna wear shorts.
Yeah, dude. You gotta look. That's the beat. Like that's where the comic shines. Is where they feel the most comfiest. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and once you are the one selling the tickets, look, shorts aren't causing a riot or causing people to be rude to their servers or doing anything. It's like if people get a good show, they pay and tip the servers, and they're a good audience member. The fact that the guy was wearing shorts shouldn't matter.
No, nothing.
But I've had like the first club I headlined earlier in February. I did a weekend at Tacoma Comedy Club and wore shorts. Sold well. The fourth show went great. But then the guy who was the feature, he told me at the end, he was like, yeah, the owner came out while you were on stage and was like, what's with the shorts? And I don't think he was like mad.
Yeah.
But he was like, the fuck? Is that like
Yeah.
part of his act? And it's like, kind of, but not in like, I don't know. But ultimately, I do. And I think if I'm 40 years old, I probably am not wearing shorts. It seems like it's like a phase. When I
Yeah.
was in New York for a month, I was wearing shorts everywhere.
Yeah.
And it was kind of a good, like, identifying thing.
Mhm.
There's so many comics there.
Of
There was one
course.
time I was just walking down the street, and a guy came out of a restaurant, and he's like, hey, Brent. And I was like, what's up, man? He's like, it was me from the open mic the other day. I saw your shorts, and I was like, oh, that's the... There's 10 million people here.
Yeah. Facts.
Yeah.
Nah, dude, don't give up on the shorts, man. If that's your thing, that makes you comfy, like fuck it. I like to wear oversized clothing because, like, you know, like when I do get a little jacked, I feel like sometimes like I get a little vascular, a little veiny, and I feel like people are like, oh, like he looks like a little, you know what I mean, a little fit, and that makes me feel uncomfortable because I'm not here for that. You know what I mean? Like when I take you home, maybe I am. But when I'm on the stage, I'm here for you to listen to the dumb
Right,
shit.
you're trying to be a sex symbol.
Yeah, exactly.
hear
So
you.
I totally get that. Yeah, man. Tiger shorts, bro.
Tiger shorts.
That's what you are.
That's me.
Yeah. Tell the people where to find you. Let's get you out of here.
At hahaha Brent on Instagram, Brent Lowry, Facebook, and all that.
Cool.
Lowrey. 10 more days in Philly, but by the time this comes out, I'll be back in the Pacific Northwest. I'm sure I'll make a trip back out here next year, though.
Yeah, dude. We love you here, bro.
People are very nice.
Thanks for coming
Thanks
through,
for
brother.
having me, dude. This was
Yeah,
fun.
man. This was awesome.
Yeah.
Popcorn Man. Deuces.